Happy Friday, friends. We're so happy you are here. Welcome to Collabattle. This is Izzy, I think, our third official show. And I have to say right off the top that this is the most official we've been ever. We kind of experimented with this format. And enthusiastically, I'm going to let you guys know that we are coming back now every other Friday with
Yeah.
Collabattle with a brand new design. So, yay, I'm excited.
Oh, this is so fun. I'm so excited about this.
Look at our cute little overlay today. Can we just call attention to that? We have, Izzy, you and I have been hard at work on some branding now for our show that will be for a few weeks in a row. As promised, we'll tackle a different topic each day. Today, we're talking about live streaming. It's a little meta, right? We're like live streaming, talking about live streaming graphics, but we're gonna battle it out. We always say we're gonna battle it out, but we get pretty soft by the end of it. We
Yes,
help each
yeah.
other, right? Izzy,
We
where are
like each
you?
other.
Where
I'm
are
actually
you?
I'm actually in Toronto right now. This is why I have a totally different background than usual. So this is the first time streaming from an Airbnb, which is awesome.
Awesome. Well, welcome to you. And I know you've had a busy week of travel. You were actually out in San Francisco for our mobile beta launch, which I'll talk about in a second. We should say hello to our
Yes.
friends in the chat. Alejandro,
Yes.
Jack, Clever. Who do we got? Oh, yeah,
We
we
have
got Paul. I know Doc Rock from Ecamm is going to join us. I'll be talking about Ecamm. Oh, guys, you picked a great show to hang out with us on. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And before we start designing, I want to call attention to something that we are all very excited about this week. The Adobe Express mobile beta app is live. So if you have an Android, you can get the app. If you are on iOS like me, you can get on that wait list. This is the QR code that you can scan, which will bring you to this page. You can learn more about it here. We are very excited to have all of the things that we love in Adobe Express now available at our fingertips. So check that out. Just wanted to mention that. And Izzy, great job on the streams this week from San Francisco. We had a
Oh
whole
my
team up
goodness.
there.
Thank you. I mean, it was not just me. Everyone did an amazing job. It was such a good time to be in person and just hug people in like real time, it's always great.
It's been a lot of work, and I have to give a shout out to all of the team at Adobe that's worked so hard to get, the power of Adobe Express in our fingertips. And I think you and I will maybe even tease this. We'll have a stream coming up that's all about the mobile app. We'll be collab battling in that. So look forward to that. Shall we get started?
Shall get started.
Let's talk about what we're looking at. So once we found out Collab Battle was coming back every other Friday, we decided to create a new style, a new brand, a new visual kind
Mhm.
of system for our show. And that's what you're looking at on screen. And so this we decided we collab battled on this off air. And we're bringing that finished thumbnail for this stream to today's stream, but we're going to use this, right, Izzy, as inspiration for all of the graphics that we're going to create today. So this is what our thumbnail looks like. I'm going to hop over quickly to a second desktop of mine where I have my live streaming set up. I know lots of people stream. By the way, in the chat, let us know if you only watch streams or you actually stream yourself. I want to see where everyone's at that's hanging out with us. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Ecamm. Love the graphics. Well, you're going to love what I'm going to say next. Ecamm is my streaming platform of choice, and I'm very excited to join them for a workshop series next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm going to tell them about Adobe Express. Today, I'm telling the Adobe Express people about Ecamm, but this is an example of what we can do in Ecamm. This is a countdown. We're going to build this later. And the graphics I create back in Adobe Express. So Izzy, maybe let's switch to your screen and you can kick us off designing. I think we'll start with an overlay. Does that sound good to you?
Correct. So the screen that you're seeing now, basically we will be creating in real time where we see both of our faces.
Yes.
So I am here in Adobe Express, but in order to have that transparency, I'm actually going to start in Illustrator, but don't worry, it's just a few clicks and it's totally easy to do if you're not an Illustrator person. So I'm going to go and create a new file here, and I have checked ahead of time, and the file size is 1280 by 720. Is that correct, Phil?
That's correct. I
Perfect.
always say, like, it's always safer to go a little bit bigger. Um, you know, just depending. I'm always like, if a graphic gets scaled down, I would rather it be bigger than if a graphic is small and then it gets stretched, then we see pixels. But I say, yeah, that's a good size to rock with.
And let's do it, I guess, high resolution, just making sure it's RGB colors too. See, it wasn't CMYK because I do so much print work, so I had to make sure that was changed, and I'm going to create this. So essentially, this will be our canvas or artboard for this. And I have preloaded the image that we have in the background, but you can go into Adobe Express, which I'm just going to flip back to right here. And you can go, I had to elements and backgrounds and just search for comic. Did you
While you're searching, I want to call attention to our poll on YouTube. We just asked you guys, do you live stream? Yes or no? If you can take a second to answer that, I'm genuinely so curious. Izzy is too. We're so curious to know if obviously you watch live streams, you're hanging out with us today, or you're watching the replay. Thank you for that. But we want to know, like, do you also stream? Um, we'll probably pepper in some stories throughout, right? Izzy, I'm curious to hear
Yes.
what got you streaming. For me, well, maybe can I tell you the quick story while you're getting
Yeah, for
the
sure.
initial designs down? That looks good.
So that's
Um,
a different one, but I just wanted to show like where you can find them, but I have already downloaded it, so I can just like pop it in into Illustrator. So let me do that. And please, I want to know how did you get started to live stream?
you went, by the way, you went to elements and then backgrounds and did a little search
Correct.
there, right? Yeah,
Correct.
great,
Yes.
great, great. Okay, so this is a funny story. The whole reason I'm on Adobe Live, hanging out with you on a Friday and all of our friends in the chat, Adobe actually found me on an Instagram Live. That was how I was found. I was on an Instagram Live with a friend talking about, I don't even remember what it was, but it was someone in the chat that thought, oh, this guy would be a good ambassador for Adobe Express. At the time, it was called Adobe Spark. So now I'm really aging myself. It's been a few years. But that was so I can't even begin to talk about the merits of live streaming and chat and friends and replay viewers. I feel like as a creative, going live is one of the things, one of the best ways to show your process and not just show us like the end result of a portfolio that we all work hard to create, but also
Mhm.
bring us into the process, right? Izzy? Like bring us into your world, which you're doing right now.
Correct. So here, okay, so basically while you were sharing this amazing story, which is so cool, by the way, it's crazy how one thing can like just trickle down and open up so many doors. And you know, it's always a lot of efforts to get started and it's scary.
It
But at
is
the same
scary.
time, if you are the world's best kept secret, how is the world going to know about your amazing talents, right? So you need to get out there.
Yeah,
All right,
it's
so
looking good.
here I basically just did a quick rectangle shape. I held down my shift key, which I'm going to do another one here, just to make sure I was keeping that perfect square. And as you can see, as soon as I did this, I had those little um, like dots in the corners that if I actually bring, it's rounding the corners like so. And I just want to make sure that both of them are equal. So I'm going to copy and paste.
Good trick. Evie says, I love Izzy's creative world. I
Oh,
love that comment. I do
well,
too,
thank
Evie.
you.
That's why it's a privilege to get to hang out with her every other Friday.
It's a privilege to hang out with you too, Phil.
We
But
have fun.
we're also supposed to hate each other right now, which
I
is like,
know
right?
that
It's so
never goes
tough.
well. That
I
never goes
know.
well. We've had over 20 votes in our poll.
Wow.
Yep, over 20 votes. So I want to remind you guys, check out that poll. Oh, yep, it's increasing. The results so far, we have more people that don't live stream than do, which is why we are doing this stream today. I know that live streaming can feel overwhelming. I would argue it is one of the best ways to show up as a way to promote your business and your brand. And
Mhm.
so many other benefits to it: media training, comfortable speaking, like what we're doing right
Correct.
now, right? It's a confidence builder. It's a show, a way to showcase your thoughts, your creativity. And I think I measure our level of success today is people feeling comfortable to try it by the end of this.
Absolutely. So, you can see how here I have actually deleted the image, and this is, I just wanted to see like the placement of it, kind of where I sort of wanted to go with it,
Yep.
and just making sure the size. But because we are going to be cutting into that shape, I don't want to be cutting into the image itself. So I'm going to just do a pathfinder with the shape. I'm going to change the color of this just so it's like so we can understand what I'm doing for that contrast here. And I'm going to bring that at the front. And I basically just aligned everything in the center, like so. Okay. And
thank you, Jack, by the way, for posting. Oh, we have Annika. Thank you, Jack, for posting the link to Ecamm. I'm going to talk about Ecamm on our next little design here. Sorry, go ahead, Izzy.
So all good. So when I'm just going to ungroup everything. So I'm happy with the placement here. So I'm going to just select everything and then go to the pathfinder. If it is not in your properties, you can always go to window, and then pathfinder is right here. But then you can choose the last option here, and then it's going to cut into that shape. So essentially here, basically, I can draw a shape at the back, and you're going to see it is transparent, which is what we want to do for an overlay, because this is where our face is going here. I'm going to put that at the back quickly, right? So you can see it's transparent. Perfect. This is exactly what we want. Now I want to be adding the graphic that we have found in Adobe Express. So I'm making sure that this shape here is selected. I'm going to go onto the left menu and into the drawing modes. And I want to do draw inside. It's a little counterintuitive because it's draw, but I'm going to be placing in a photo. So here I go to file and then place. I'm going to select this image. It's a little small because I downloaded it from Express, and this is 300 dpi. I'm just going to do that again because there you go. Oh, I lost it. Let me do that again.
If we ever needed to get it larger, then we could go back into Express and resize that project easily and be able to export that higher. I do that sometimes.
So basically, I lost it because whenever I do draw inside, it's actually keeping everything within that shape. So it won't bleed outside. So this is a really cool trick. So let me just make sure that this is properly centered like so. And then again, if I have that shape that I'm going to put at the back quickly here, you can see we have our overlay with that image. Just going to zoom in. I'm going to export this. And then I will
Izzy, could someone do this in Photoshop? We obviously won't show it right now. I love that you showed us how to do it in Illustrator because I didn't know how to do that in Illustrator. But if someone was comfortable in Photoshop, could they do it there as well?
I would do it in a different way. In Photoshop, I would actually build everything in Express, and then I would go and cut out the backgrounds where we want to have that cut, like for the transparent shapes.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, I want to read comment from Keys. This is awesome. Thanks for pointing this out. He said, sorry for pointing this out. And no, you don't have to say, you don't have to apologize. You have two Canadians on here, by the way. We apologize all the time. The size disparity is because it's in inches and not pixels. Yes. Thank you for pointing that out.
This is what, you know what? Yeah. That's okay, because I can actually go and reshape my artboard. See, that is because I work all the time in inches for print.
For print, yeah.
So you are absolutely right. So this here, I can just change to pixel. And it's going to. Oh, see, it's tiny now.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. That makes sense.
That is so awesome. Yeah, it's Friday. That is so awesome. This is, by the way, the most advanced part That's why we're starting with it. This idea of the overlay so that we can put our cameras in behind in our tool of choice. That looks awesome.
I just want to make sure that the size here, and actually it's perfect. So if I do this, and that's probably why I couldn't export it. So there you go. Overlay.
I want to say hey to Ecamm. Hey, Drew, in the chat. I'm happy that my friends from Ecamm are here. I mentioned at the beginning of our stream, but I'm doing a workshop series for them on their YouTube channel next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 o'clock Eastern. Bringing the magic of Express to our friends at Ecamm. And today I'm going to show you the next thing we'll design once we get our overlay done will be the countdown graphic. Look at that.
All right. So now we can go to media. I'm going to exit this and upload from device because it is now on my desktop. Overlay. And we have this right here. And just to test it out, just to make sure, I'm going to put like just a quick shape element at the back so we can truly see. It's
well done.
It's perfect. So we have that transparency. All right. So now I guess we need to oomph it up a little bit. So let's go into, I guess we're in shapes.
Yep.
Shapes here. And I want to have a rectangle to put our names at the front. Like so. Just eyeing it to find the center. I want no Phil. Not Phil. I want you,
Phil,
but
Phil.
I don't want to have I want to have that black Phil, but no border. Or do we have a border? I forgot. Like we don't have one.
We have, I'm trying to remember.
We don't have one.
I don't think so.
So none. Nope. Perfect.
By the way, do you know how many times I've heard the joke generative Phil?
Oh.
Generative Phil.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I still like the joke.
Perfect. Oh, there you go. So you're writing my name.
Yeah, I'm helping you out. So I borrowed some text from our thumbnail. Again, when we are designing, Izzy, for this example, I'm going to put you over here because you're real in charge here. You're the one that's really in charge. Yeah, in most cases on Collabattle, we were working from a library, at least in the last 2 shows, but we thought we would try something different. Let's say you're trying to design something that is not from a library, but let's say it's from a design that's been provided by your client or by someone else, then you can easily get inspiration. And we could even, if we wanted, start to save some of these elements to a library. I'll make a note to demonstrate that once we switch over. This is looking so good.
So I know this is not the final icons that we have selected, but I think having a speech bubble is really cute.
We should mention that the inspiration for this kind of comic design came from Adobe Express. It was actually the background that we found in design assets, well, backgrounds that we thought, oh, this is fun. We could let this inspire the whole branding for the show.
Yes, and I think it was also from our first live together when we had that proposal for Alicia Confections.
Which reminds me, Izzy, while you're designing these, I'm going to show something up on the camera. Not my mailing address. I don't want any unwanted visitors, but look what I got in the mail. Look what I got in the mail.
How timely.
How timely. I have waited to open this live because it is mail from my friend Izzy that literally arrived this morning. And I have a feeling I know what it is.
I think you do.
I have a feeling I know what it is. Of course, it's wrapped perfectly, branded beautifully. This is so cute. I didn't want to rip it. Chat, what do you think this is? If you caught our first live stream, I bet you know.
Let's see.
Cute. It is chocolate. Look, this was our inspiration for our first live stream.
Yes.
Thank
So
you,
this,
Izzy, all
my
the way from
pleasure.
Canada.
All the way from Canada, Ottawa. This is a Pop Rocks white chocolate bar. So perfect for that Friday pick me up
You better
when
believe
you
I'm about to open it at 1 minute after the stream finishes. Thank you, thank you. This is
It's
looking
also
awesome.
really cool to have like a chocolate melt onto like on your tongue, but then you still hear that pop from the Pop Rocks, which is awesome. So here we're missing the most important element, which is the verses kind of
Yes.
POW, right? In between both of the squares where our heads would be floating. So let me grab this one here. This is from our library, exactly from our first stream together. I'm just going to angle that a little bit. Then going to copy the text style here. I'm just going to do verses in the middle. And we have our overlay.
Completed overlay graphic. You did that like a champ. I'm not supposed to compliment you. We're supposed to be battling.
I know. Try to make
So,
better, Phil. There you
yeah.
go.
So to download this, we should specify that it should be a transparent PNG. Yes.
So here you would go to download PNG. Actually, let me do it so we can make sure. And I'm on selected page. Where actually I have to specify, no, that it has to be a transparent. Do I
Let's
have to specify
see.
it?
I don't think you do. I think you can. Yeah,
Or
I'm
do
not
I
seeing
have
that option here on ours. I wonder. Oh,
actually yes. So
you
here
removed background.
the background was white. So it was on a background color. So I basically went to background color and here you can see there's the opacity. And I just put that to 0. So now I know that this is transparent and the overlay will be perfect.
Well done, Izzy. That completes part one of our little demo, the overlay graphic, which, as I said, is the more advanced one. We'll switch here to my screen. And I think what we will do next, Izzy, if you're ready to rock with this, is we'll do like a little countdown
Ooh.
graphic. Yes, a little countdown graphic. So I'm going to open up Express here. And maybe what I'll show you. Maybe what I'll show you first is how I have it set up in Ecamm. Ecamm is live streaming software for Mac users, and it is my preferred streaming software because it makes streaming simple. I find generally this whole topic can be kind of overwhelming. By the way, we know from the chat, if we go check our poll, 54% of uh, our viewers, our friends hanging out with us today, do not live stream. And Izzy, we said our measure of success is that our friends today feel like they could at least experiment with their own live
Mm-hmm.
stream. I think
Mm-hmm.
between Adobe Express and Ecamm, you are totally set up to experiment with this format that I think helps you build confidence, helps you showcase your work and your thought process as a creative. And certainly working in Ecamm, where I'll show you how this works. I can have these overlays set up. The graphics in behind here I made in Adobe Express. When I click here, this what we'll do right now is a countdown. This is an element that I've added in Ecamm. Okay, so it's a countdown. Here I have all the different kinds of settings. I can set a custom font size. I can click and drag it on screen. But what we're going to do, this is one that I have from an old workshop that I did with Ecamm, but we're going to make a version of this inspired by our thumbnail for our live stream. So popping back over to Adobe Express, I'm going to start from our thumbnail. I'm going to duplicate that. And I may swipe back over to Ecamm a few times just to get some ideas on the layout. So Izzy, do you think, I think maybe we'll like get inspired by this placement. I might move us over to the right-hand side.
That works.
Let's say Collabattle starting in, since it's a countdown. I actually did that very fast, but let me just explain what I did to start from an existing design. This was our thumbnail. I clicked up here. I went actually here, sorry. Clicked here to view all. And then I went duplicate page. You can also do it from the design here. So click the plus sign up in the top right. We have 3 options. Same size, which will create a white canvas. Custom size. Let's say we were going to do a version for social media, which we will do, or duplicate. So I selected duplicate to get the exact same design that we are going to customize for a starting soon screen. So I think I know what I'm going to do. I just detached the this background that we found from, I'll show it here. We went to elements, clicked background, and then typed comic and scrolled through here until we found something we thought was cute. And we found this pink design down here, right there. What I'll do just to keep this simple, since we've got this pink that goes around the design, I may do the remove background here, but I think just for this quick demo, I'm going to make that smaller. And
Oh,
I
I
think
see.
you
There
know where
you
I'm going with
go.
this.
That is
You
so good.
you know where I'm going with this, since it's kind of like a gradient vibe. So I'm going to drag that all the way at the bottom, and think we don't need this. Starting in, what if we do like something like that? We want to get our new show branding. Oh, look at you whizzing the stars around. Love it.
Can I add something, Phil, to what you mentioned earlier when you said like
You
getting
certainly
clients and
can.
like basically having like that visibility when you start live streaming, but something that is to me one of the most important that it can't be discarded, specifically in the era of technology that we're in right now, but it's building community. Once
Mm,
you start sharing your process and you start creating some connections, like what we are basically doing today, building that community is something that AI will never be able to replicate.
yeah, yeah. I agree
And
100%.
this is looking good.
It's looking good. Might put this up here. Let's duplicate and copy your little star moment over here, make it smaller.
I feel like we should still have a verses on this too. Let me go
I
pull it out.
agree. I agree. So you're going to copy that over from where you designed it, and that's how we keep things
Correct.
looking consistent. Izzy, what's your streaming story while we finish this? How did you start live streaming?
So I was invited to be a guest on Adobe Live. Back then, it was that 2 hour, 2 days stream, and I did a fashion brand. And how
Hmm.
they found me before, I think it's because I think there's 2 things, because I'm not entirely sure, but I can only assume is I run an event, like speaker event in my hometown, which is called the Ottawa Design Club. So I think this is why they said, we want you to host, because they knew I would be hosting panels and stuff like that. But I think it's also Behance, because they said we found you on Behance when they reached out. But I think everything kind of came in together.
I love that. And that look how that started so many things for you.
I know I can't keep up actually, to be honest, specifically on a Friday.
I feel you. Specifically on a Friday where, the week that we launched this very exciting mobile app. If you guys are joining us late, we talked
Yes.
about it at the beginning, but Express now has a mobile app. Android, you can download it. iOS, you can get on the wait list. Since I'm talking about it, let me just quickly put up this QR code. I'll just put it here for a quick second, commercial break. Just kidding. But seriously, scan this and either get on the wait list or get the mobile app because it is incredible what you can do from your fingertips, literally. I love that about the old app, before Express came out of beta, even a year ago almost. And I'm so happy that we have it. We have it now. Where did you go? You just replaced yourself?
Oh,
I
I
think
did?
yes, I think we accidentally dragged your
Oops,
little pop
my bad.
icon. No, it's fine. I
I
think
will.
you went pop,
There you
literally.
go.
Yeah. That's like a
It's
little magic
back.
trick. Um, Obviously we're collab battling and we're live streaming. So I could say, Izzy, do you like this design? But friends that are watching, I want to show you something really cool in Express. When you're working together as a team, or maybe you're not on a call like we are right now, you have the ability to leave a comment. And I just left one and tagged Izzy in it, who's obviously shared on this document with me. Izzy can reply. This is a good way to get approvals or have conversations about specific elements in a design. Or let's say, even for your client, if you're sharing a graphic with your client, you want their approval, you can have that dialogue directly in Express, which is really cool.
Once we're back to my screen, I will show you how it shows up in the notification.
Oh yeah, great. Well, so if this looks good to you, I'm going to download this or yeah, almost there.
There you
Almost
go.
there. That looks awesome. I'm going to download this as a graphic. I'm going to do it again because you just made a
Sorry.
little
I'm
change.
I'm
It's
so
okay.
sorry. This is the perfectionist in me.
I want to respect the artist at work here. Okay, so I've slid back over to Ecamm. I have this set up on a separate desktop. I'm going to now upload the latest graphic, just like that.
Look at that.
And it uploaded. So I'm not going to change the font yet, but we could. We can change the font of the countdown. Obviously, the countdown is a live element, so we wouldn't do this in Express, but we would design something that accounts for it, which is why we left that little pow, little pow. What do you call that? Like a
A
little
little, yeah,
bubble.
pow or like bubble or action comic thing,
Yeah,
thingamajigger.
thingamajigger. That's a very technical term, Izzy.
Yes, I know.
Um, yes, so there's all kinds of cool things that we can do here in terms of settings, text margin, basically anything you want to do with styling, you can do. And this is Ecamm, which I think is, I mean, it's my favorite. I've tried OBS and I've tried others, and I get in there and I'm like, I don't even know what to click or where to begin, so I'm just not going to. Whereas Ecamm for me was kind of like the gateway to give me the confidence that I need to stream. And so that's why I'm demoing it today. And that's why I'm excited next week doing a workshop with them over on their channel, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm going to bring the magic of Adobe Express to Ecamm. Very excited
Yeah.
about that.
I love when there's like collaboration between communities and softwares like that. It's awesome.
I'm having so much fun with you that I haven't even checked the time. Okay, so we're about halfway through.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Izzy, should you mentioned that you wanted to show us, that's funny, Clever says burst, zap, pow. Those are also technical terms for those little comic bubbles. You mentioned you're going to share your screen and show us how the
Yes,
notification looks, and then maybe we get into designing our next asset, which
correct.
you get to decide what that is.
So let's do this. So if we hop over to my screen, basically on the same screen as you were before, just going to wait for that to switch.
There we
Perfect.
go.
And as you can see here, I have my profile picture, and this is where I would get the notification. So if you click here and then you go to notification, I can see right here, Phil's mention you in a comment on Collabattle live streaming graphics express. Is this approved? Let me click on that, then see what
Uh-oh.
happens. Then you can see it's bringing me right to it. Is this approved? And I will say absolutely. Ready to rock and roll. And submit. And then you would get the notification
I already
once
got
I
it. Get it
answered
right
it. There
away.
you go. It's
Yep.
awesome how fast that is. Like
Yeah.
literally snap and it's there.
To not have to leave, Express. This is what I notice. It's like it's a trend that I like. We can do everything in Express, getting feedback, leaving comments, scheduling social media content. Maybe what Izzy, you design it and then I'll schedule it and kind of show that maybe
Ooh,
towards the end.
okay.
Yeah. We're
Let's do
battling,
this.
right? We're not collaborating. We're
Oh,
collab battling. Yeah.
we still need to like wrap our heads around that. So, okay,
Yeah.
so you mentioned social media. So, I
Yeah.
mean, if you've known me and if you've watched some of my previous stream, you know that I like a good engaging story. And we can definitely do this with all of the elements that we have here. So, I'm going to go to resize. And I mean, do I have to duplicate first? Correct. So I'm going to go here and duplicate page, resize. And it's fun that we already have here the recommended sizes. So I don't even need to search for the sizing. I already know them, but it's cool that it's right here. You know what? Let's start with story. And if we have the time, we'll do a post.
Love it.
Resize. So see, because it's going from an horizontal to vertical layout, it just kind of shrunk everything, but that is okay because we can easily just grab everything and then resize it. But I want to be breaking things down a little bit. So I won't resize it just yet. I know I want to keep the title. I know I want to keep this image. Sorry, Phil, you're gone.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. There you go. That's where the battling starts.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep this. And I like this. Okay, so I'm actually going to flip this so it can fit our canvas better. Just going to make that like so. Just going to zoom out a little bit because I like to see, I know this is small, but I like to see it entirely and where it hits outside of the Canva. This is just a personal thing that I do for myself.
It's almost like taking a step back and looking at art, It's like take a step
That's
back
it.
and just to get perspective. That's
But
like
I also
digital version of that.
but I also like to see where kind of the outline of that graphic that we have, like this here, like goes. Because
Yeah.
maybe something like if I want to just reshape it, like so it's actually a little big. So because I like the yellow elements that we have. I'm going to
Jeff
bring it
says,
down.
big fan of Izzy's work and getting to know Phil. Yes, Jeff. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank
We appreciate
you.
you. Jack, thanks for posting the link over to Ecamm's YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a workshop with them next week. Very excited. We got so many good people hanging out with us today. There's like, we got some of our regulars, some of our friends, but today's like the chat is popping off. I'm happy
It
about that.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a good vibe today. So, all right, let's bring the title. I'm going to make that bigger. Going to put that up. Just want to make sure that these are still accessible. Of course, we have to show that it's Adobe Express. Just going to put that in the middle. I might be moving it, but let's see. I'm going to keep that text because I'm going to reuse it. Okay, so I want to go into the library that we had previously done. So your stuff, and I'm already in it because I was pulling some graphics from it. And I want to add a speech bubble. And this is where the fun starts. Because we're going to start to tease each other here. Gonna
I
pull that
love where this is going. What is going to go in the speech bubble?
I mean, maybe chat, you can give us some inspiration. It's really hard to be mean to Phil, but maybe
What
something
should go
like
in the speech bubble?
Phil, I'm are like what who here watches like Rocky like movies, and that's not usually my Phil, I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
Like so. Just making that a little bigger here. And I think we need a CTA. So I'm just going to take
Yep.
that text box and then watch us live. And today is March 8th. Oh, actually, happy International Women's Day to
Women's Day.
everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. To everyone in the chat or watching after, like International Women's Month as well. Thank you for being part of our lives.
100%. This is
Just
also
going.
reminding me when we designed the countdown in Express, we left it blank for text. We were able to add the text, the countdown sticker in Ecamm. But Izzy, this is an example where if you left that bubble blank, you could add the text in Instagram, for
Correct.
example, or you could even do a question sticker. What should we design next? And that could be a poll, similar like what we do in the chat when we're live. It's one idea.
You know what? For this, just because it is a little overpowering, I'm seeing having the same text treatment everywhere. I'm going to change that font, maybe to something that is just like less kind of funky, so we
Yep.
read it better.
I would
Going to
also
make
recommend
the
if this was going to get posted on Instagram, a great feature to use would be the calendar, the schedule feature, so that someone can click and be reminded, like the countdown, I think it's called. And that's one way that people can actually be reminded or get a push notification when that time comes. That can definitely increase views and engagement on your event. Um, the other thing I should mention while we're talking about Instagram, don't want to forget to mention this later, but Ecamm just launched, I think it was Monday, the latest version of their platform that allows you to stream from Ecamm onto Instagram Live. So imagine being able to use these exciting graphic elements that you create and
nice.
express on your Instagram lives. It's so, so, so exciting because for so long, Instagram Live was only available for a handful of people that had the feature, and it was basically random. Now everyone can stream live to Instagram. And so another example of like Adobe Express and Ecamm make the perfect duo for that.
I love that. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring that here. So it's there. Maybe I'm gonna bring that up a little bit. That's just finessing, refining, however you want to call that. And you know what? I'm gonna bring this at the bottom, like, um, like that, as if it's like it's an accolade or kind of like a hey, hey, it's in Adobe Express. Okay.
Can I also give
How
a shout out to Doc Rock on the Ecamm team who has been using Adobe Express? He uses it for his thumbnails and he raves about it. He's like one of our super fans. He's an Adobe Express super fan, and we appreciate you, Doc Rock. We appreciate Ecamm. We're so happy you guys love it. I'm
I'm
seeing him in
actually
the chat. This is looking
nice.
good.
Thank you. So now I'm actually duplicating again the other one because it was easier for me to start from there because now I want to make a story for you. So again, I'm just going to resize. Also, to me, it's always a good idea to repeat what we do to make sure that you, people who are watching, truly know and understand how to do it.
Good call.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to, yeah, and then I can make it a totally different design, like different layout. And because we're using the same branding element, you're still going to recognize it, which is awesome. And sometimes happy accidents like this happens. And I like this better, and I'm going to go and change it for the other one.
That happens to me all the time. You do something by accident, you're like, wait, why
Wait,
does that look better than the thing that I just designed for 20 minutes?
exactly. Hey, it's part of the process, right? So
It is part of the process. I should also say, speaking of process, um, we used a quick action to remove the background on our headshots.
Mhm.
And actually, we can keep on your screen, Izzy, but I'm just going to import my headshot, my original one. There it
Sounds good.
is on screen. And I just want to show you guys, if you haven't used this before, when the image is selected over here, remove background, single click, boom. That's what we're working with. That literally took no time at all. And then what I did was I went into adjustments. Izzy and I both had different headshots from different photographers taken at different times. And what I did was I played with the warmth. You can see kind of, it's very subtly the difference. I brought up the
Mm.
brightness. I'm no pro with photo editing, but I was able to get our headshots looking very similar as if we were actually side by side. So I just thought I would call that out. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so here I'm adding the speech bubble. And what do you want to tell me, Phil? Okay.
I would like to say, oh, it's on.
Oh, I like that. Okay. So,
It's on, honey. That's actually what I would say.
oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you really want it to be in my brand voice, you got to add a honey.
Okay.
Llama Mama says the schedule blurb's a little hard to read, I think, for sure. And this is why we kind of test it, we try it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is another trick that I have. I actually have a test Instagram account which has no followers and no following, and I actually sometimes will post carousels there that are seamless to make sure that they actually load properly. You could do the same with graphics like this. You could actually post it on Instagram on a test account that only you have access to if you want to see how things look. One little idea on that.
So we're saying that this here is not visible enough.
I think it was the one, this schedule text. Oh, the watch us live part.
The watch us live.
Yeah.
I mean, for this, I would almost even imagine having a voiceover on top of the which you can do in Express, which is great because we could technically even be like, Phil, I'm gonna beat you, like as it's playing, and add even the music in the background, and you can play with that. Do we have? I don't think we have time for that today, but then I would also.
We might. We have a few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we want to play
Okay.
around,
So
I
there
say
you
let's
go.
do it. I'm
Okay.
gonna maybe we give this a shape, or we could add. We
There
could
you go.
do, yeah,
Oh, this is
something
cool. I
like
like
this to
that.
just draw
I like
some
that.
attention. I like this.
So let me copy that. So then I can add it onto yours right here. Fits perfectly on here. There you go.
There,
I
Llama
love.
Mama. I think we made that. That's much more legible. Thank you for that idea.
Yes, that's great. And you know what? I feel like, so I have grouped this. I'm going to ungroup this. This pink is not necessarily working with the rest of our assets, but that's okay. We did that last time, but we can add an effect to it. And maybe I can like have it matching the rest of our assets, or maybe not because of that black overlay. I mean, that's not bad.
That looks good.
That
Yeah,
looks
that
good.
looks great.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay. So going back to mine here, I mean, I'm going to change because I like this better now. Just quickly like that. Oh, yes, that has a lot of boom, pizzazz, and it's dynamic. I love it. Okay.
I love it too.
So,
Well
so
done.
well, I mean, well done to you too. If we built this brand together, right? If it's keeping us inspired, that means it's a well-defined brand. Okay, so here I would go to media and audio, and you can here record a voiceover. So I'm going to do this. I'm just going to say allow on every visit. There you go. So I'm going to record just now. Oh, Phil, I'm going to beat you. It's on. Watch us live March 8th, 1 p.m. EST. Then see what it does here. Oh, it actually added it onto a different,
Oh,
or
interesting.
it actually removed a few things. Hold on.
Maybe it created a new canvas.
It created, no, it actually removed everything.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Okay. So it did not like that. So let's just, oh, okay, it's here.
it's here.
Okay.
I see it on my end.
It's
Yeah.
here. It's here. Okay. I just did like go back. So I maybe I press erase on everything. So here,
These are
if
the
I
things that happen to us when we're live. They never happen when
exactly,
no one's watching.
that's so true. So here, if I played this back, you would hear the same thing. And I think that if Phil, you wanted to do the same here on yours,
Yep.
it could be really fun. And then if this is posted on each of our accounts separately, and then people from your community would see it, my community would see it, but they would kind of make that connection between our two accounts. And how fun and engaging is this?
That is genius, Izzy. I'm not supposed to compliment you because we're supposed to be battling. And normally we count on you for the design stuff and I chime in with the marketing stuff, but you get the award today for best idea for marketing. That's genius.
Thank you. All
That is
right.
genius. So, what I will, well, maybe I'll add a voiceover too. I'm going to click on my end here.
Nice.
I'm going to click on my end here. The same, allow permission. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1. Here we go. It's on, honey. Finish recording. It adds that voiceover.
And
Fantastic.
it has that engagement and it's fun and it's very different from like the typical stories that we see, right? So
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I mean, you have to give permission to yourself to experiment on social media. There's no
Mm-hmm.
like right way to do things. There's no right or wrong. I guess there are some wrong ways now that I say it, but you have to experiment with different styles because it's what people notice. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and share this design. Let me, might have to refresh here again because we're live and it's misbehaving. Let me actually
Well,
click on, oh,
there's a lot happening right now, right?
there's
On
a
our
lot happening.
computers. So
Let me let me see if I just hit refresh. Stand by, friends.
we got
Gonna
this.
hit refresh. I landed on yours, Izzy. So let's pretend that I'm gonna schedule yours.
Okay.
There
Sounds
we
good.
go. Yep. When I click up here to share, I just had to give a little refresh moment there. I can schedule this post in Adobe Express. This to me is one of the most underrated features. What you can do without even having to leave Express. You have to authenticate your social media account. I'm logged out from a handful of them right now. But let's say I wanted to schedule this to Twitter or to X, however you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a video. You saw that uploaded very quickly, and I've got it here. I can preview it. I can add more assets there if I want. Um, join Izzy here, Izzy and me as we battle it out. And then if I want, I can add a little emoji of a
Oh yes. Maybe like,
boxing.
yeah.
You
Or
know where
that
I'm going
like
with this. Yeah,
yes.
boxing. Yeah, there we go. Or and then the POW, since we're all
Oh
about the POW
yes.
today. Love it. So I would obviously put your social media handle there so it's hyperlinked. But what I want to show you guys, it's so cool. Obviously, I can publish
Mm-hmm.
now, so I don't even have to schedule. I can just send it to that platform, or I can, pick a specific time. Let's say I want to promote our show 5 minutes before the stream. I'm not going to think about doing that because 5 minutes before the stream, we're like getting in the zone.
Like
Set and forget it. Set and forget it. Like use this. You don't have to pay for another social media schedule. You have this included in Adobe Express. Also the ability to schedule to TikTok, which is so,
so cool.
so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of my favorite things to do here is to toggle this on, save as draft. Okay. And what we can do, I'm just going to unselect TikTok to be able to do this. What we can do by saving something as a draft, I'll actually show you. We go into Express, we would click schedule, and right here you can see these posts that are not scheduled, but they're ones that you have in your queue for later. right? So one expert tip I actually learned from our friend at Adobe Live, Liz Mosley, she said,
Ooh,
when you go to post something, duplicate it, and you can schedule it 6 months in advance, and you've already done your social media content
so
for.
good.
Isn't
So
that
good.
good?
That
Is
was
yeah,
so
so
fun.
it was so fun. I had so much fun with you today. Look at our fancy little overlay that
Yes.
now our new friends can design themselves. That's our remixable template this week. So check the description for this video for our remixable template. Also, check out our previous 2 streams of collab
Mm-hmm.
battling where we did a proposal and a presentation. We're coming back for more. We'll see us back not next Friday, but the Friday after. Have a great weekend, friends. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks for being so lively in the chat. We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Collab
Yeah.
Battle. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks, Izzy.
Happy Friday, everyone.